looks is such a big thing in the world, and it's just crazy that it runs, but it will always be like that.
Yeah, it's just a superficial way to kind of view how people perceive themselves in relationship to the general market of dating.
Yeah.
And like, couples finding other people. So, yeah, I mean, no matter what number you are, that shouldn't diminish your human worth or who you are as a person. And I don't think anybody watching this thinks that's the case. What the people watching this are interested in is, like, what do the chicks think about themselves? Because they probably have some type of rating, and they want to see if it concords with reality, or again, they live in a fantasy world where everybody's a 10 and that's fine if you have that personal belief in yourself. I think that's great to be self-confident. But the reality of it all is that we all are on a spectrum of appearance and attractiveness.
Of course.
And even the 10, it's not like all people are attracted to what would be the prototype 10.
Yeah.
But typically, statistically, probability on average, people date and marry the people on their same level. And the problem is for young men is they can't get the woman that's on their level because they're constantly focused upwards on this dating spectrum because of the attention that they get online.
Makes sense.
I don't know. In the adult industry, I've noticed that like BBW is a very consistent niche. Like I've noticed that when I gained a little bit of weight, like I got more scenes and I got more action. Not saying I like got to the BBW level, but I fluctuate weight. I'm a thick girl, so I'll speak for the thick girlies. But
well, and couldn't that be because the average man is wanting to fantasize about somebody that they think is actually like potentially realistic for them?
Possibly, but I also think that it's like a like I don't know, just it's a very like. Yeah, it's a huge fetish, like a huge fetish. I don't think you guys understand like how big.
I probably don't understand.
You guys don't. There's two, like, because obviously I understand of everyone. Like, there's two different ends of it. There's people who fetishize us, and it's like literally only about our actual fat. Like they don't care about us. They care about like my belly. It's weird. Like, and that is a whole nother section of it. But there's also people who are just into women and a person, and they're into me as a person, you know what I mean? And that's a whole nother thing. Like they'll date anyone. But I feel like a lot of people say that there's not lots of men out there for bigger women. Not a lot of people. Like is huge. So many people like big women. Your brothers, your cousins, your dad, your uncle, everyone. And you might hide it and you might not, and that's okay if you're not. Like in high school, like I didn't get a lot of guys talking to me in high school because they were embarrassed, right? It's like I had a lot of friends. I was very popular in high school, but the dating scene was not a thing for me. When I got out of high school, the gates flooded open, you know what I mean? Because they felt like not insecure to like hold my hand out in public. It's more of like a school thing, like their friends picking on them and stuff like that. When they grow up and they realize that they have their own decisions and they can make their own choices, and they realize that they actually have always liked bigger women, and it's not a bad thing. Like it's different. Like you look like you're very physical and you might like to go on hikes and stuff. I understand that someone might not want to be with me because I physically can't. I'm not going on hikes every day. I can go to Universal and walk the park all day, and that's fine. There's things I can do, but I'm also not going on bike rides and doing all these things. And I understand my lifestyle might not match their lifestyle, and that's completely okay. But, and also you might not be attracted to me, and that's okay too, but to be like acting like this is not a reality of like people, no, I'm not saying you are, I'm saying people, it is such a reality. Whenever I go out, I get hit on all the time, more than I feel like skin, because I feel like they think I want it more because I am big, but it's like all the time, you know what I mean? And
Erroneous!
You know what? I don't think it's a fetish, because if you think about it historically, women didn't used to be skinny. Like women used to be like much fatter than we see nowadays. It's like,
I feel like there's different levels of it. Like when it's my size,
you were seen as like richer.
You were rich,
you were bigger.
Yeah, but no one was like, you see that.
Yeah, but that's in certain historical periods.
Yeah, sculptures too.
Yeah, certain historical periods. But I mean, you look at like if you're talking about statues in Greek culture.
Look at they weren't like stick thin. They had some curves, but they were not like anywhere approaching obese.
Right. They weren't obese, but they had the body. You know, like in the Russian culture, like we're from Russia, we can, it was considered to be beautiful for a woman to be fat.
Well, what I would say again.
Wait, in Russia?
Yeah,
Russia is my
bro.
Russia,
I'm sorry, if you're used to be.
Yeah, used to be.
Who cares about what used to be?
But I'm saying, like, we're still wired the same way. You know?
No. Okay, it's not wired though.
Like
wired is being attracted to healthy bodies.
Yes.
Obesity is not healthy. When you're talking, hold on, stop. What you're talking about is not wired. You're talking about a specific social phenomenon in like feudal Europe where there was mass amounts of poverty and most of the peasantry was like hungry and starving. And so a woman who was obese perhaps was an indicator that she came from a wealthy family.
Like
and
she
that
was more
that is the
fertile.
basis of like it
Like
was a social
larger
construct
hips.
and a determination of like, okay, well, she's well fed, so that's the basis perhaps for the attraction. But there's not a wiring for men to be attracted to fat women.
The thing is that like if the basis for attraction is reproduction, right?
Yes.
So like if a woman is very very skinny, she's not.
That wouldn't disprove my claim.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you to successfully have a child, you need to have some curves. Like you need to have some
That's
some
not
body.
true.
I-
My mom is so skinny. And that's not true.
I think it's like the
I
women
think
bearing
she-
hips thing.
Wait.
like, how-
Yeah, I think she was, if you have traditionally if you have wider hips, it can be easier to give birth.
Right.
She has wide hips, but she's skinny.
Yeah.
But the point, generally speaking, in regards to like the statuary you're referring to, those aren't fat women. And yeah, they may have some body fat on them, but it was a signifier of fertility. So when we're talking about like obese people, this is later in European history, and this had to do with kings
Wait.
presenting themselves.
Hold on.
To any art museum, like you see all
Right.
these paintings, and you're like, well, this woman needs to go
Yeah,
to
the Mona
gym.
Lisa, she wasn't super skinny, but she also wasn't obese or fat.
Right, but like by modern standards, like that's not, you know.
Just don't.
Also, I mean, I don't know if like depictions in ancient art or like statues is necessarily. I don't know if we can draw anything necessarily from that.
Well,
But quick thing. Okay, so you're a 10.
I say as my own self. I kind of said it to piss these people off, but I also feel like I said, I'm realistic, but I think of myself as a 10.
Okay.
Like,
And you said that was a 6.
as like I think you're a good-looking man, Brian. I don't think you're ugly.
So, but you would be settling for me, like you would be doing me a favor.
Yeah, I would be doing you a favor. Yes.
No, is that no? Genuinely, I'm not going
No,
to be offended.
I don't like
Just,
reading
is
people.
that
I
your,
just
no? But would you feel like, from a physical perspective, that you would be settling for me?
no. Because I rated myself a 10. Are you saying okay? That's what I'm saying. This rating
Wouldn't that
is
have
so
to be the case, though?
I get what you're saying, but I don't think you're less attractive than me because I rated myself a 10. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I think I am a 10, but I don't think.
You said
I don't know,
that was
that's
a
what I'm
6.
saying. This thing is so stupid because like I feel like this shouldn't even be a topic or like a discussion. But
Well, women rate men all the time on a variety of measurements and factors.
measurements literally.
Wait, but hold on. Like, I'll give you perspective. You said that you would not date another fat man, and that's a determination based on a measurement of his weight.
No, but
or
we're
his
talking about
physical manifestation.
No. See, that's the thing. I would date a man that's fat if I was skinny. We're talking about like
No,
realistic.
but you're right. But in practice, for technicality reasons,
Yes.
for practicality reasons,
Yes.
it just doesn't work.
Yeah. So what are you saying? What are you asking?
But I'm saying you make determinations in terms of who you will date or what you. I don't want to say. You probably find. Do you find fat men attractive?
Yeah, I find
Okay, so
anyone. I find so many people attractive.
I won't misrepresent.
I don't think I'm. My brain is wired differently than a lot of people.
Okay,
I
but
think that
you make assessments based on who you're going to partner with, based off of measurements. Will you date a guy who's shorter than you?
it depends on how much shorter. I don't mind. I would rather the same height and like maybe 2 inches is the most I would do because of short.
How tall are you?
I'm like 5'7". See, that's
Okay,
how
would you date a
hard.
guy who's 5'6"?
Yeah, I would.
Is it your preference though?
No, but I'm
What's
a
your
lot
preference?
tall. But I would date someone who's shorter. I'm in
It's
love
not
with
your
them.
preference though.
No, but
Right.
it's not your. You wouldn't date a fat person. That's your preference, and that's okay.
How big is the if she has a big labia, I might give her
Did
a
we just
pass.
say big labia?
I only date women with large labia.